this week. Now, this is part 2 for our week 3 in, of course, environmental sciences and engineering. So, this video lecture will be all about the population and the environment. All right, so let's get started. So, we have three significant elements that affect the health and development of a community or nation. Okay, so when we say the development and the health of our nation or the country or a community, merong tatlong elements, okay, that contributes to that. What are they? Can you make a guess? So let's see kung tama yung guess nyo. So we have these three, okay? So we have the population, the resources, and the environment. Okay? Can we reflect on this? Di po ba, kapag itong tatlong to, these are the major factors or elements that contributes to the development of a country or a community or a nation. Di po ba? Kasi usually, kapag overpopulated yung isang lugar, it's like, ano siya, kumbaga, we can categorize this as poor country. 'Di ba? Kasi pag overpopulated yung isang lugar, naapektuhan yung resources niya. Kasi if maraming population, then there will be a lot of mouth to feed, 'di ba? Which we'll talk about more on that later. So, and of course, kapag overpopulation, itong environment maapektuhan. Yung ating mga natural resources maapektuhan. Di po ba? So, more or less, itong tatlong to, we somehow would agree na talagang they really are the key elements, no, in in or the big factors that affects the health and development of a community. So let us discuss, tingnan lang natin yung definition ng bawat isa, although some of this has already been um, defined naman sa previous natin na topics. Balikan lang natin ng konti. So when we say population, it refers to a group of individuals or a group of people in a specific area, region, or community. Diba? It's just a group of people or individuals in a specific area. This group may be small, moderate, or large in number. Depende. So when we say population density, it refers to the number, of course, the number of people living in an area per square kilometer. 'Di ba? So, mas higher yung density, ibig sabihin, in a certain square kilometer, mas maraming people. Okay? So, mas dense ang population ng area na yon. So, for example, meron tayong yung isang dalawang square kilometer. Square kilometer A and square kilometer B. Dun sa A, we have, say for example lang ha, 1,000 people. Dito naman sa B, meron tayong 2,000 people. Of course, saan yung mas dense doon? Diba? Dense is the number of people per square kilometer area. So, mas denser of course yung sa B because meron siyang 2,000 people. Okay? Mas maraming tao in certain area, mas denser siya. Okay? That's just, yeah, the definition. Next is we have your resources. I think na define na din to sa previews. Balikan lang natin ng konti. These are the available means, property, or supply that a province, region, or country has and can use to its advantage. Okay? So ano ba yung supply, yung mga property, ano bang meron doon sa isang area na pwedeng magamit on its advantage, of course. And when we say environment, it refers to all the conditions, circumstances, and influences surrounding and affecting the development of an individual or a group of people. Next one, occurrence of diseases because of improper disposal of waste and pollution. Of course, with overpopulation comes overcrowding, and overcrowding comes waste and pollution. 'Di ba? Kasi mas madaming ginagamit na products, mas maraming waste na produce, 'di ba? And a lot of waste could result to pollution na naman class. And yung pollution, yung dumi sa kapaligiran would contribute to diseases. So, ayun, yung overcrowding, overpopulation could cause diseases because of pollution. Next is the amount of trash and waste materials will increase. So, ayun na nga yung sinasabi ko kanina. Mas madaming tao, mas madaming gumagamit ng mga products or ng mga stuff, which results to, 'di ba, mas maraming waste. 'Di ba? Mas maraming waste, mas maraming trash. 'Di ba? Mas maraming trash, mas maraming waste. 'Di ba? Mas maraming tao, mas madaming gumagamit ng mga products or ng mga stuff, which results to, 'di ba, higher amount of or greater amount of trash and waste materials, which if not disposed properly would lead to pollution, and itong pollution would cause sorry, would cause diseases, diba? It's again yung sinasabi ko, it's a domino effect. So these are the negative impact or results of our overpopulation or overcrowding to our environment. Now we have this question: what is the relation of population to health and development? Okay, kasi, yeah. What do you think? Ano ba yung meron ba siyang kaugnayan? Meron ba siyang relation? Or does the population affect the health and development of a nation or a country or a community? Can you reflect on this question? Of course, diba? And let us see kung ano yung mga relationship niya. Yan. So, yung adverse effect ng population to health and development are as follows. Merong effect pala class, merong epekto yung population, of course, sa health and development. And these are as follows. So first, the number of health facilities and health providers may not be enough to deliver services to everyone. 'Di ba? Kasi pag maraming population class, of course, magkukulang ng health facilities, no? Na that would deliver services to everyone. Just like ngayon, 'di ba? Kapag ka maraming COVID patients, nakikita niyo 'di ba, sa health facilities, sa mga hospital, 'di ba nagkukulang sila and kasi wala ng space, wala ng room for new patient, 'di ba? So, mas maraming patient or say for example, mas maraming population, mas maraming say for example, it's related to mas maraming number na magkakasakit, 'di ba? And mas marami sila, of course it would yung health facilities natin would not be enough to deliver services anymore. Okay, that's one. Next, ito talaga sana yung number one, ano? The food supply may not be enough. Of course, mas maraming population, mas malamang magkukulang yung ating food supply. 'Di ba sa bahay, pag mas maraming member ng family at saka limited lang yung food supply natin, eh 'di ba nagkukulang? 'Di ba ganun sa mga poor families, 'di ba ganun naman 'yun? Marami kasi silang magkakapatid, maraming anak, so maraming members of family. Yung food, konti lang. So there will not be enough food for everyone kapag ka marami, pagka there is an overpopulation, which would lead to high prevalence of poor nutrition. Nagiging domino effect kasi siya class, ano? There is not enough food, and of course, yung nutrition ng bata would also be affected. Nagkakaroon ng poor nutrition that would lead to certain diseases. So, ganun na. Madami na siyang effect yung ating overpopulation. And number three, people will be more prone to infections and parasites infection because of overpopulation that results in overcrowding. Ito yun. Yung overpopulation class, it results to overcrowding. Of course, alam natin yan. And itong number three, it's, nakikita talaga natin nowadays, ano, now na meron tayong pandemic, na merong viruses, it is more, mas nasa-spread siya kapag ka mas maraming tao. 'Di ba? And of course, mas maraming tao, that is because of overpopulation. So, mas kakalat yung mga sakit. Mas mag-worsen yung mga, yung pandemic natin. So, these are um, the effects of our overpopulation to health and development. These are just a few, okay, to name some. Actually, madami pa, but these are just the things that I am presenting in class. But there are a lot of effects pa ng overpopulation sa health and development ng isang country or nation. Next is the relation of population to environment. Ano naman yung relation ng population sa environment? So kung yung kanina, the relation of population to health and development, sa health ito ng mga tao and development, what about sa environment? Meron ba siyang relation? Can you reflect on this? Pag meron ba if there's an overpopulation, does it impact our environment? Does it? Tingnan natin. So, yung overcrowding, of course, alam naman natin na yung overcrowding, that's because of overpopulation. Okay? So, yung overcrowding in a certain area, as in city, oftentimes results in, first, squatting in government and private lots. Diba yung mga squatters natin? Because wala silang mapagtirahan, so yung lupa na hindi naman kanila, na sometimes owned by the government, sometimes owned by privates, they squat. No? Doon sila tumitira. Although hindi ka nila, tinitirahan nila. Tapos kapag ka pinapalaya sila, dinedemolish, ayun, nagagalit. Diba? And somehow naman we cannot blame them kasi wala nga naman talaga silang mapagtirahan, 'di ba? So it's their way of surviving. So ayun, that again, yung overcrowding, it results to squatting. Kasi kung meron lang naman talagang area for them, ba't sila mag-squat, 'di ba? So it's because of no choice. So what is population education? It is, by definition, it is an exploration of knowledge and attitudes about population, family, and sex. So itong tatlong to, ito yung dinidiscuss sa population education classes. More on the population, the family, and the sex. Includes population awareness, family living, reproduction, education, and basic values. So population education, it is a program which provides for a study of population situation of family, community, nation, and world with the purpose of developing it and students' rational and responsible attitudes and behavior towards that situation. So ito siya class, it's really talagang ano siya, ino-introduce siya sa mga bata, population education. It's a program, sometimes part siya ng curriculum ng mga students, ano, um, yeah, para lang yung mga students would know or would have better understanding or would be aware of the population situation that we have right now. So what is the importance of population education? Why do we need to study it? Why do we have to be aware of it? So, kasi sabi nila, today's children daw, tayo, kayo, today's children are tomorrow's citizens. 'Di ba? Tama nga naman. Kayo, yung mga, kayo na yung mga future citizens natin. Yung mga bata, yung magiging future citizens when they grow up. And so, they must know the population and its consequences. Kailangan alam nila ano na yung situation natin when it comes to population and what are the consequences. Kaya nga, di ba, dinidiscuss natin dito, what is the relationship of population to the environment, of population to the health and development of country, di ba? Para aware tayo. Kasi, kayo na yung magiging future citizens ng ating country. 'Di ba? And sa inyo na nakasalalay yung ating development. Sa inyo na nakasalalay kung are we still going to have that overpopulation or makokontrol na ba siya somehow. So education is very important. 'Di ba? Kasi education, sabi nga nila, it is an effective way to conscientize people of the need for accepting small family norm. Students, they play a major role in spreading this message and they have to be trained how to spread it. Hence, it is necessary to include population education in school curriculum. Kaya part siya. Although dito naman sa klase natin ano, to environmental sciences and engineering, it's not really the population education yung focus. Tinatch natin siya ng konti class. But I don't know kung sa curriculum nyo ngayon, meron ba talagang specific subject na pop-ed? Kasi I think before, meron to, population education. Okay? Anyways, so let's proceed. So sabi, growth in population means more mouth to feed, more bodies to clothe, and more families to provide shelter for. 'Di ba? Mas madaming population, mas madaming pakakainin, mas madaming bibihisan, mas madaming family na kailangan mong provide ng shelter. So kung titingnan mo siya class in smaller picture, kung magkakaroon kayo ng family nyo later on, kasi 'di ba kayo yung future citizens ng ating country, kung mas madami kayong members ng family, mas madaming anak, mas madami kayong pakakaining class, mas madami kayong bibilhan ng damitan, 'di ba? Mas madami kayong iso-support. So, if limited lang yung resources nyo, talagang magkakaroon ng problema. Right? So, what is the consequences of overpopulation? So, ayun na yung kanina. Although na-evaluate na siya kanina, we have here, sabi ko naman, ano, konti lang yun out of the many consequences or effects of overpopulation. So, I have listed here some more consequences of overpopulation. We have here problem of food. It's obvious naman, ano, we have problem of shelter, unemployment, health problem, Kasi nga, mabilis kumalat yung mga diseases because of um, overcrowding, because of pollution. Diba? Unemployment class kasi kapag limited lang yung number of yung work na kailangan, tapos mas madami mag-a-apply, edi wala nang ma-apply yung iba. So it would really result to unemployment. Environmental degradation class kasi madami gumagamit ng ating mga natural resources, fragmentation of agricultural holdings, threat to economic development, urbanization, price hike and inflation, destruction of values. So these are just a few to name a lot of consequences of overpopulation. So itong fragmentation in agricultural holdings. So say for example, how does population affect this one? Let's look at the smaller picture. For example, sa family, pag madaming members of family or madami kang say for example siblings, 'di ba? And usually kapag ka may lupa yung parents natin, 'di ba dinedivide sa magkakapatid. Oh. So mas madami kayong magde-divide or mas madaming magkakapatid. Yung isang piece of land, mas madedivide siya into several. So nagiging fragmented na yung agricultural lands natin. 'Di ba usually nakakakita kayo yung mga farms, 'di ba sometimes merong farms na makita mo ang liit lang ng area, 'di ba? Pero separated siya from the other, 'di ba? And that is because of ito sinasabi nating fragmentation of agricultural holdings. Kasi nga dinedivide sa mas madaming tao. Okay? And that is because that is that is one uh, effects of your overpopulation. Na-divide siya into several areas yung isang piece of land. And ito namang urbanization, of course, with overpopulation comes urbanization. Kasi kapag ka mas madami ng population and those people, they are looking for jobs. They would look for jobs and then we all know na yung mga tao naman, especially from provinces, they go to cities, 'di ba? To urban areas. They go there to look for jobs kasi nga mas madaming opportunities doon, job opportunities because pag sinabi nating urbanization, meron talagang industrialization, 'di ba? Mas madaming work doon and so they tend to go to one place or an area, specifically sa mga cities and then ayun, nagkakaroon ng overcrowding and babalik na naman tayo sa previous na natin na discuss. Overcrowding comes with pollution, with diseases, 'di ba? Ganun siya. Paikot-ikot siya or it's like a domino effect. And of course, ito namang price hike and inflation. Itong inflation class, ano ibig sabihin nito? This is ibig sabihin rate of change. Ano yung rate ng pag-increase ng mga prices ng mga bilihin. 'Di ba alam naman natin na as time goes by, 'di ba nagmamahal yung mga prices ng bilihin? And yung mga prices, it's because of, 'di ba, supply and demand. And itong demand and population and supply, alam natin na meron siyang relationship. The more population, mas dadami yung demand and mas kailangan mas madaming supply. And 'di ba pag tumataas yung demand, tumataas din yung prices. Tumataas yung prices, yung rate ng pagtaas ng prices, that is inflation. And so they are somehow connected. Klase itong inflation, 'di ba? Say for example, napapansin niyo naman 'to. Kung before, meron kayong, say for example, 500 pesos, bumili kayo ng grocery. Say for example, dalawang basket na yung nabili nyo out of your 500. Then after some time, okay, ilang years yung lumipas, meron kang 500 pesos class, yung mabibili mo na lang, say for example, isang basket na lang out of your 500 pesos. Diba? That is inflation. Kasi nga, tumataas na yung mga prices ng mga bilihin. Yung purchasing power class, yung PPP na sinasabi natin, yung purchasing power ng piso natin is, kung dat kung dati yung piso mo, nakakabili ng ganito, ngayon, kumbaga na lang. Kumbaga ganon. Okay. Itong inflation din class, ito din yung reason kung bakit there are some people or anong tawag natin doon, financial advisors that they don't suggest na you save sa bank. Okay. Kasi class, pag nag-save ka sa bangko, and then, alam natin na yung banks, they give yung, interest nila, yung tubo sa pera mo ay napakaliit. Okay. Kailangan class, pag nag-save ka, yung nilalagay mo ng pera mo, okay, kailangan tumutubo siya ng, kung hindi man niya mapantayan yung inflation, malampasan niya. Kung hindi niya malampasan, at least man lang, pantay siya sa inflation. Kasi kapag sinave mo siya sa bank and yung interest niya doon is mababa sa inflation, at the end of the year, or kapag kinuha mo na yung pera mo, lesser na yung value na nun. Kasi nga, naano na siya ng inflation. Alam mo yun, na-overpower na ng inflation. So, ayun, pag nag-save kayo later on, pag nagka-work kayo, you have to take note of this. I mean, you put your money in a place where it nagkakaroon siya ng interest na kailangan mabit niyo yung inflation. Okay? Etong destruction of values, ano ba to siya? Pag sinabi natin destruction of value class, say for example, kung dati yung ginagamit class, kung magdaro ito sa basakan ko, ang ginagamit is, say for example, sabi ginagamit dati, Carabaos, diba? Tapos, yung Carabaos, pinalitan siya ng katong, si tawag ito, tractors ba to? Itong di makina na, tractor na. Oh, gamitin na siya ng tractor. What happens to the Carabao class? Yung before, na yung Carabao na may value na ginagamit siya sa pagdaaro sa basakan, it loses its value, 'di ba? Nawala na siya ng value because pinalitan na siya ng say for example ng tractor. So yung Carabao na dati may value siya doon sa pagdaro sa imong basakan, nawalaan siya og value. It loses value. So kapag pinalitan siya class and it loses its value, that is called destruction of values. So ayun. These are the consequences of our overpopulation. Of course, these are not just, but these are just some of the consequences of overpopulation. Okay? So let's proceed. So eto. So why should the population be controlled? I think the question naman is obvious kasi nga we have discussed so far yung consequences ng overpopulation, and so far yung na-discuss natin is the disadvantage or the negative ones, 'di ba? So parang we see overpopulation on the darker side. Okay? So itong question na to, why should population be controlled? Kasi nga nakita natin ano ba yung mga negative effects or consequences ng overpopulation. But still, in order understand din, para awareness lang din, let us discuss this. Okay? So, population should be controlled in order to improve the quality of life, to increase the employment opportunities, to increase per capita food supply, to improve housing facilities, to improve medical facilities, to improve educational facilities, to increase time for rest and recreation, to improve life security, to minimize social problems and evils, and to make the earth more suitable for life, and a lot more. Okay? So, ayun. So, you have to know, as a student class, kayo, you have to know the importance or ano ba yung, kailangan alam nyo, di ba, na-discuss kanina, alam nyo yung relationship, ano yung relation ng consequences ng population, sana nga ulit yan, sa environment, sa health and development ng nation. Kailangan, as early as now, you should see na nakikita nyo na ano ba yung importance of controlling the population, ano ba yung importance of having just a small family, 'di ba? Kasi it could lead to a lot of advantages in the future. You are doing favor not just for yourself but for your future family and for the environment and for the country as well. So ayun, it's important to really include population education on the curriculum sa sa class, I mean sa schools, in school curriculums. Okay? Explanatory naman we like understandable naman siya. Itong isa lang itong increase per capita food supply. Ano ba ibig sabihin nito? Ano ba itong per capita? Per capita, it's just a statistical term class that just means per person. Okay? Or average per person. So ibig sabihin it's like population should be controlled in order to increase the food supply or average food supply per person, 'di ba? Kasi pag na-control mo yung population, wala ka ng overpopulation, normal na yung population, of course yung food supply per person would increase, 'di ba? Kasi ba 'di ba sabi, halos lahat naman tayo we compete for food, 'di ba? So pag konti lang yung nagko-compete for food, um mas marami siyang food supply. Mas marami tayong food supply pag konti lang yung of course nangangailangan ng food. our discussion for this video lecture. So just a small recap lang ano. So for this video lecture, diniscuss natin ano ba yung relationship ng population sa ating environment, sa ating health and development ng ating nation. Diniscuss din natin ano ba yung consequences ng overpopulation, kung bakit ba siya kailangan i-control. And isa lang yung lacking ano yung what are the kung titingnan niyo yung discussions natin, yung kulang, missing link natin kumbaga, kasi diniscuss natin yung effects ng overpopulation. Bakit mo siya kailangan i-control? Ano ba yung cause, ano ba yung negative effects niya sa country, sa nation, sa health, sa environment? Ang kulang na lang, hindi natin na-discuss, ano ba yung mga or how do we control overpopulation? 'Di ba? How do we control population? Yun lang yung missing link. So, of course, may idea na kayo ano ba yung magiging assignment nyo. So, um, yeah, stay tuned lang sa Schoology class for further announcements. And yeah, that's it for this video lecture. Stay safe and God bless.